Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon on YouTube. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. If you feel you need a therapist, please go to Google, type in therapy, your city, Psychology Today will pop up, click on that, and it will have all of the therapists in your area. Also, the views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other damn therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka, done. Okay, let me get some stuff out of the way. November 10th. November 10th is Honolulu, and I will be at the Island Vintage Coffee in the Ko'olina Center, which is right across from the Aulani. So November 10th, Honolulu, at the Island Vintage Coffee across from Aulani in the Ko'olina Center. That is where I will be. Please sign up at Eventbrite so I can get a head count and know how many people I'm expecting and how many books to bring. That would be really super important. That would be awesome. Thank you. There is that. December 1st is going to be Tacoma. So please, again, go to Eventbrite, sign up for Tacoma. That will be December 1st. I need to get a head count on that because apparently we've had a lot more people and we need a bigger space. So that's awesome. All right, so there's that. If you wish to purchase this beautiful mug, it is available on eBay. That's great. And then if you would like to purchase these books, these are available on Amazon, yes, and Audible. So both of these are available on Audible and both of these are available on Amazon. If you want the hard copy, they're on Amazon. If you want the Audible, they're on Amazon something. Anyway, they're there. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I'm doing this little pre-record really quick. I've got about 10 minutes. I wanted to answer some questions because I know it gets really frustrating for people when I go to do a Q&A and I've already got stuff in the line and they want their questions answered. So I'm just going to do this little pre-record one to get this out of the way. All right. So someone was writing me and they said, well, you know, there's this person on the web that wants to get rid of personality disorders, but not just any personality disorder, specifically narcissistic personality disorder. Can you please speak to that? They're saying things like, well, the DSM is obsolete. It's a medical model. And because medication doesn't treat narcissism, therefore it should be taken out of the DSM. Okay, hold on. Time out. Anybody you listen to, check them out. What are their degrees? Do they work in the field? Do they work with trauma victims? You know, you want to know who they are. Okay, you want to know what their degrees are in. Honorary degrees do not count, guys. Honorary degrees do not count. Just because somebody has an honorary doctorate in something doesn't mean they know jack diddly squat about it. Bill Cosby, for example, had tons of honorary degrees in all sorts of things. So the point I'm trying to make is check them out. Listen but verify. And if something sounds funky-dunky, check it out. Okay, so here's my opinion on this. And you guys know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The reason people want to get rid, and when I say people, I mean narcissists, want to get rid of narcissistic personality disorder out of the DSM is because they have it themselves. Narcissists do not like being called out for their behavior. Narcissists do not like to be seen for their behavior. They want to be seen as somehow extraordinary and brilliant and this and that and the other thing, and they do not want the harsh reality of their behaviors being known. So, again, to recap, anybody who wants to get rid of narcissistic personality disorder out of the DSM has got flawed logic, and I'm going to explain why, and they probably have the disorder themselves. So here's the deal. So yes, when psychology came into being, it was based on the medical model because they didn't know how else to put it into a framework that they understood. Okay, so it was a medical model. It was. The DSM is a diagnostic manual. That's it. All it does is help diagnose things. Okay. So yes, it is based on a medical model. However, here's where the flawed logic comes in. So the argument is, well, medicine doesn't fix narcissistic personality disorder, therefore it needs to be removed from the DSM. There's a whole bunch of things that is not fixed by medicine, okay? Schizophrenia is not fixed by medicine. What the medicine does is it calms down the voices and it makes them quieter, but they're always there. They're never going to go away. It doesn't fix it. It might make it better. And then after 3 to 5 years, the efficacy wears off and then you have to go and get a different med to work on that. So nothing actually fixes it, okay? So the other thing of it is too is there's no medicine for avoidant personality disorder. There's no medicine that will fix schizotypal. There's no medicine that will fix schizoaffective. There's no medicine that will fix obsessive compulsive disorder. There are medicines that will deal with the anxiety related to it, or maybe the mood wonkiness related to it, or the depression related to it, but there is nothing that is going to fix any of those. So that is a flawed flawed argument. The other thing that I heard is, oh, well, it's just used for insurance, therefore we shouldn't be using it. Okay, you know what? I don't take insurance. I don't. I think insurance companies are the devil. If you want my personal opinion, it's like, yeah, let's just jack up all those prices and make sure nobody can get therapy, you fuckers. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Ooh, don't get me started. Anyway, so I use the DSM all the time. I use it to help me understand what's going on with the client, and I also use it to help the clients understand what happened to them. So when they are in an abusive relationship, and it is with a narcissist or with a borderline or whatever, I can be like, look, does this sound familiar? Needing excessive admiration all the time, expecting to be looked up to and respected without having commiserate skills or true education in the area. Do they expect to have especially good treatment regardless? You know, do they expect to have the best seat in the restaurant? Do they expect to have this happen and this happen? You know, do they have a sense of entitlement? Do they use people? You know, and then oftentimes the client is like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes to all of these. Oh my God, that's what they were. And that's like a huge, you know, light going on, shining down from heaven, angels singing, and they finally get it. And they're like, oh my God, that's what I went through. So the diagnosis helps the targets of abuse. So, and I don't take insurance. So it has nothing to do with insurance. Yes, do people use it for insurance purposes? Yes. It is a diagnostic manual. So somebody who is sitting there saying that all of the or just that one particular personality disorder or any personality disorder needs to be removed has got an agenda. So you want to take a look at that. You want to research who you're listening to. You want to make sure that you're listening to somebody who is in the field, works with the victims, understands the personality disorders, understands, you know, what it's like to be a victim, understands all of this. Do you see where I'm going with that? You know, I got my degree, I got my master's degree from University of Phoenix here in Phoenix. I've worked in the field since 2006. I did my internship at the homeless shelter, and believe you me, I saw everything. I saw everything. It was the best education I could have gotten, seriously, because I worked with every single personality disorder you could possibly think of. I worked with every single addiction, things you wouldn't even think you could be addicted to. Yes, I worked with all of that. I saw every single kind of trauma you could possibly think of, okay? You want to really verify who is saying these things. And if somebody is saying that, they've got an agenda. Guarantee it, because really, listen to me now, believe me later. It is for the good of the client. If you are working with trauma victims, you're not going to want to get rid of the personality disorders because you want your clients to understand what's going on. And you're not concerned with hurting their widow feelings because they're being labeled. So anybody who is wanting to get rid of narcissistic personality disorder, there's an agenda going on. The other thing I heard too is, oh, well, it's based in trauma. It's based in trauma, and therefore it doesn't need to be a personality disorder. Well, I'm sorry. Borderline personality disorder is absolutely based in trauma. And guess what? If you catch it early enough, it responds to dialectic behavioral therapy. Narcissism does not. There's never going to be a pill for narcissism, guys. There's not. There is never going to be a therapy that is going to be effective. It is a personality disorder. It is a behavioral disorder. It is an ego disorder. And they are not going to set their ego aside and go, shit, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to change. Maybe I'm the problem. They will never do that. There is not that empathy card. And there's also not that self-introspection and ability to go, what's my part in this? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe I had something to do with it. Ooh, there you go. So there is that. I just want to make that abundantly clear. So if anyone gives you that argument that those need to be gone because it's, you know, you can't treat it with medicine or you can't... There is no magic bullet, guys. There is no magic bullet. DBT can be effective with personality disorders. However, narcissists never stick with it because once the spotlight comes back on them and the therapist goes, what's your part in this? Where's your responsibility in this? They go, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're incompetent. You don't know me, blah, 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 blah. And they go storming out and you never see them again because they don't want to take responsibility for jack diddly squat. So listen but verify. If somebody says something about that, you want to find out what is their degree in. And doctorates that are honorary do not count. Honorary doctorates do not count. Have they worked in the field? Are they working in the field? Do they work with targets of abuse? What is their expertise? What are their degrees in? You know? So anyway, there is that. Okay, next question was about autism and demand avoidance which is part of autism. And I'm going to tell you right up straight, autism is not a strong point for me. I don't really deal with autistic clients. And if I do have an autistic client, I will refer them to somebody who does, because they need somebody who understands that inside and out. I don't understand that inside and out. I know my personality disorders. I know, depression and anxiety and this, that, and the other thing. But autism is not in my, my strong point, my wheelhouse. So what I can tell you about that is that autism is very often mistaken for personality disorders. Why? Well, in autism, it's an overwhelming of the senses. They get overwhelmed. Excuse me. And they don't often respond, oftentimes they don't respond to social situations or social cues. So this is what used to be known as Asperger's disease or Asperger's disorder. And what it is they don't recognize social cues. Somebody could be crying in front of them and they won't pick up that the person is upset. So that is autism. So it's an overwhelming and maybe not recognizing social cues. With narcissists, they don't like it when somebody has an emotion and they'll ignore it. There's a huge difference, but it gets mistaken as the two. So oftentimes people with high-functioning autism get accused of having narcissism when in fact they've got high-functioning autism. So it's something completely different. If you want more information on it, go to the Mayo Clinic, look up autism, look up Asperger's, look up narcissism, look this stuff up, guys. Don't just, rely on YouTube. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look it up. So there is that. Oh, shoot. There was another question and I think I deleted it. Oh, crap. What was it? Autism, getting rid of the personality disorders. There was another one. Damn it. I'll think of it. Anyway, so I just wanted to do this really quick little video because it's important to me that there's not misinformation out there. So here is the deal. Check out what the degrees are of people who are saying things like that. I can guarantee you anybody who is wanting to get rid of personality disorders probably has one themselves. Don't listen to them. There's an agenda going on. I find it immensely helpful to have the DSM, and my clients find it immensely helpful to have the DSM. So if you have benefited from these talks and understanding what the different personality disorders are and how to cope, then contact the ACA, contact the APA, and tell them from the victim or the target's point of view how important it is to have the personality disorders in there to help you understand what you've been through and to validate your experience. Hugely important. I don't think people are looking at that. So anyway, there is that, and damn it, I can't remember what the other question was. Shoot. No, it wasn't about movie villains, because that popped in my head too. It was the one after that. There was a question after that. I'll think of it. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. Anyway, hope to see you in Honolulu on December 10th at the Island Vintage Coffee across the street from the Aulani and the Koalina Center. Hope to see you in Tacoma. That would be awesome. I would love that on December 1st. So November 10th, Honolulu, December 1st, Tacoma. Hope you guys have a great week. And as soon as I think of that question, I swear I will answer it. All right. Have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.